Hello Wargamers, it's me, Big Fat, over here at NOLA Wargaming, and I've got another battle report for you. So if I sound a little rough under the edges, it's because I've been getting sick over the past few days. It's really sucked. But anyway, a few days ago, I gave a call to one of my friends, Eagyn, out in Baton Rouge, and he agreed to come on down and play a game with me. And I was really surprised in the army that he brought, because I didn't even know he had it. So without further ado, Infernal Dwarves! more evil dwarves. Alright, so on this left flank, we've got the Kadim Incarnates. I wasn't super worried about them. I know that they can do a bunch of damage, but there's only 3 of them, so, you know, how bad can it possibly be? He's got 1 rocket battery. Big thing of blunderbusses. I have to admit, I hadn't read any of the rules for the Infernal Dwarves. I kind of kept up with them a little bit, so I knew what the units were, but I didn't know how they worked. And the blunderbusses, I'll tell you, the rules for them, they're pretty sweet. They do some damage. Yep. All right, so we got some rocket batteries, another Titan mortar. Titan mortar, I don't know. The Citadel Guard, who they're dwarves. That Overlord and the Cow. I always worry about flying monsters. They can get wherever you don't want them to and disrupt your lines. So we'll see how he uses them. And here's a little, well, I guess it's not a little unit Turok, but this unit's kind of on its own. It doesn't have a whole lot to support it. So, and then there's the blunderbuss with ignore me. You can ignore him from this point forward because he doesn't partake in this game. All right, on my left side of the table, this is going to be opposite the Turok. And there's my Barkalak with the Winged Reapers. I was doing the same strategy I did before, where I'm using that Dark Coach to kind of do the bubble autonomy to keep my units moving. And it's going to keep the Winged Reapers and the Wraiths moving. There's Banshee Skeletons and stuff. Here's the right side of my table. Yeah, you got to keep your general near these guys, because otherwise they can't march. So I have a lot of units, a lot of chaff built up here. I've got some giant bats behind the tower if you don't see them. I'm using the, I'm kind of worried about the blunderbuss. Like I said, I don't really know the rules for them, but they're a shooting unit, and I don't want them to tear apart my ghoul unit before they get into combat. And I figured, okay, well, I mean, they're going to shoot the Phantom Hosts all they want, and I'll be more than happy to take that 2+ ward save over and over and over again. So, yep, here we go. And he took Pyromancy for his profit. Fat bloke, I was calling him. He's got some good spells here. Cascading Fire, I mean, that does some damage. You can cast that into combat. Flaming Swords, the +1 to, I think it's to wound and flaming attacks. Pyroclastic Flow. He cast each one of these just like a little bit. I can't remember if he got Pyroclastic Flows off, but he definitely got me with Enveloping Embers at least once. And over here, yeah, Milk of Magnesia. You'll never see this guy again. And on my side, if you watched my other video, you heard me complain about how I chose the wrong spell selection. Well, I wanted to rectify that a little bit. So on my Strigoi Wizard, on Vash, I put Awaken the Fury and Awaken the Beast and Savage Fury on him. Both good buff spells. This was my mistake though. I should have left a Rise on him and taken probably Awaken the Beast. And then on the Greyback, I should have taken another buff spell. Because, as you'll see in a bit, I'm going to kind of break off the Greyback from where he is. And he's not able to cast magic across the table the way that Vash would be able to. You know, he's sitting in the middle of all of this. So, in the future, all you future Vampire Covenants players, don't... always make sure that you have the Arise on the Central Wizard. And there's the Greyback. Over here, turn 1. Alright, turn 1 never goes to me, if you haven't noticed that yet. I have way too many units, so I never get the drops. My opponent always drops the rest of his stuff well before I do, so they always get like +6 or something to their roll to go first. Alright, he's moving up a little bit, not really though, because why? He's got the shooting advantage, so yeah, this rest of his stuff. He moved the cow off to the side. I was kind of surprised because when he moves him off to the side, kind of limits where he can go. Where if he's in the middle, he can charge, a much wider swath of the table. All right, we started with Flux card 6. And yeah, he's going to town. He sees those ghasts and he's like, oh, nope, I don't like those. Got to get rid of them. So he hits it with whatever the first spell, the fireball equivalent is. And he gets me with enveloping, the ember spell. Yeah, enveloping embers. That spell is vicious. All the strength 3 hits. I'm going to save a bunch, but yeah, this is what it does to this unit. And then he goes ahead, and I think this is where he hit me with either Cascading Fire or Pyroclastic Flow. I can't remember which one, but just did a few more wounds to this unit. And in the shooting phase, he only shot with the Titan Mortar because the rocket batteries are obviously not within 24 inches. And these little midgets couldn't figure out where to put the cannonball, and so they misfired, and took a wound for their troubles. Take that, little Titan Mortar. Here's me. I'm moving. I am on the move. So this is my whole unit. The whole left side of the flank just kind of spaced out a little bit. And yeah, I'm getting ready these bats to hit the war machines so that I won't have to deal with them anymore. And the phantoms are just willing to take some shots to keep those ghouls alive. Here's the middle of the table. You can see the skeletons moving up. It's just like the left side of the table. Everything's moving forward as fast as possibly can. And my magic phase. I get some zombies. Yay! Go zombies! I don't know what I'm going to do with these guys. I was just casting to cast so that I could have extra guys. I mean, these guys get into combat, they're just going to melt away. Sake. Anyway. So, his turn, he's really just like before. He's just going to let me get a little bit closer before he really starts taking advantage of the movement phase. And over here, yeah, see, cow moved over again. See, there's where the cow is now. So now the only thing the cow can fight, because he's all the way off here, is either the Varkalak or the Winged Reapers. That's what I said. I thought that was kind of weird that he was moving them off to the flank like this. If he kept them in the center, he could have dictated the what he was going to get involved with. But now he's kind of stuck with his options. And more magic. Yeah, I was not so good at 5+ ward save or 5+ Aegis saves. It did not go so well. This is a combination of that first spell plus the attribute spell, and then he has a magic banner that lets him do the attribute again. So I was taking that. I was taking that attribute twice every time, and it's only like a D3+1 or something like that, strength 4, but it adds up on toughness 3. Resistance 3, and it really melted these guys fast. And yeah, my poor zombies, they I don't remember what they took, but they took a little bit of damage. And this is from shooting. Damn those rocket batteries. Those things are tough. He's got the volley guns on them, so they just started sniping stuff down. And after it was all said and done, this is what was left. This one guy. My turn. I need to get rid of those rocket batteries. They just destroyed my Winged Reapers. And I kind of want those guys to not be, well, dead. They're very useful, so, yeah. And I get in here. No problem. Make that, easy peasy. These guys don't make it, though. This was kind of a longer charge. I think this was a 10-inch charge for them. And they don't make it. Over here, you've got the Varkalak, and he's going into those Taruks. And yeah, he's going to make that, and he is going to make short work of these guys. I actually like this unit a lot. It's a good support unit, very cheap. 2 attacks. I think they were strength 5 with their weapons. He doesn't have just with this one unit though. There's no way for him to really do anything, because they can't support infantry blocks with just one. So cool unit though. Over here, here's the rest of my movement. I am preparing to take down those incarnates. I've got some bats to help me out. Just kind of get in there and do that -1 distracting thing, and it's going to be great. Oh, as you can see in the front, I'm really just trying to get those ghasts into the flank of the blunderbusts with Vash and the ghouls in the front. If he ever decides to destroy those phantoms. Center of the table, zombies are moving up to just zombie. Force him to get off the hill if he wants to get off the hill. That sort of thing. Banshee is moving up to do Banshee stuff. And the right side of the table, yeah. I moved over the Winged Reaper because I didn't want him to get shot to death anymore. So he moved off to the side. It's funny, my flank looks much smaller now than it did before. It's really just the Varkalak and some magic. Yeah, I threw on the Beast Fury, the first spell. So they're +1 strength. This is the only time I cast the +1 strength version. After this, I did +1 strength, +1 toughness the entire time. I'm not sure why I did it. I mean, it's 5+ versus 7+, but I mean the +1 strength, +1 toughness. I mean, only a 7+. Oh, that is a sweet spell. And here's the Banshee. It's gonna scream at over there because 8 inches is too far for that stupid thing. So I killed a couple of dwarves out of this blunderbuss unit, which is actually great because they need 4 ranks to get their double shot. Yeah. So when they have 4 ranks and they shoot, every time they hit, they double the number of hits that they make. If they have less than that, they only double the 6s. So just killing off one guy in this back rank decreases their damage output phenomenally. So this was actually a good move on my part. And the bats murder that stupid war machine. Oh, thank God. Those things are vicious. And they turn to try to hit the next one. Varkalak just does what Varkalak does. And just takes out the whole unit. So, yep. That was easy peasy. Over here. Man, that was some good food. Not gonna lie. That was some good food. Okay, so he's going to drive the zombies off. He's tired of seeing them. He wants them out of the way. He wants this Citadel guard to start getting involved. He's got that BSB in there, so I mean, this is a tough nut to crack. But you know, he feels like he can take some of my units down at this point. Over here, yep, we're going to see how the ghouls face off against these incarnates. And this is what this side of the table looks like. He didn't charge the phantoms. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought he would. This middle of the table and the right side of the table. He kind of just turned the one unit to face the which direction is he facing? I think he's facing the Banshee in this one. Yeah, he's just facing the Banshee over here, and the bull is the moo cow is just kind of mooing along, grazing, getting some grass. Same sort of. He's consistently casting that first spell, so it's just doing D6 strength 4 hits or something along those lines. So did a couple of wounds to these guys, and then he hit it with the 2 attributes. So I actually lucked out here and only took a couple of wounds. For my, I think this is cascading fire. I took another couple of wounds to this guy, so he's only got 2 wounds left. Ugh, poor guy. I need this guy to live. Over here, this is from the Dreadquake Mortar. It did a whole bunch of damage. That thing's a beast when it can fire. And yeah, I thought I decreased the blunderbuss's effectiveness. Not enough to save the Banshee's life. She died quick, fast, and in a hurry. Over here, he just shot the blunderbusses straight out. And I failed everything. And those guys just went. He did a ton of damage to those phantoms. Zombies did what zombies do, which is immediately die. And he advanced a bit. He was hoping to get into the skeletons, but kind of just got stuck out in this no man's land, and I'm very okay with this. Over here, yeah, that was just, damn, that was bad. Those incarnates, they do not play around. They with the burning body, or what was it? What is their ability? The strength 4 hits to everything they're in close combat with or face to face with. They just shredded this unit. I mean, it was bad. So this is what's left of my unit, and I managed to take down one of his. So I'm hoping that I can bring a few guys back and take down another one. And if I can do that, then I feel like I can win this combat. I just need the vampire to keep going. He actually didn't do any wounds, I don't think, in this first one. I think that was all the ghouls. They just managed to strike back pretty well. So yeah, it's charge time now. So this. If you can't tell by all this, the Wraiths are hitting the flank, the Reaper is hitting the front, Skeletons hitting the front, and I have those little bats going they're not in the flank, they're at the front as well. So I'm going to be on two sides of this thing, and I'm hoping to take it down. There we go. Over here, gas are in the front, so I can't negate his ranks or anything like that or get a flank, but they'll be kind of off on the side. Oh, yeah, that's right. He stood and shot and killed a whole bunch of ghouls. Yep, that was cool. Then we got him. And over here, this is the bats and the bats. And yeah, I took down the last one with just 2 bats, so this should be a lot shorter. And over here, the bats are going to charge in and save the school unit, make it so it's a lot harder to hit them. And that's what they're doing. I got some perfect charges off of these bats because that is the ideal position, just off on the side. And yeah, that was great. Alright, so here goes some magic. Managed to raise back a bunch of ghouls, which is fantastic. I need that. And over here, I did no wounds. No, I did 1 wound, he did 1 wound, and yeah, that was it. We're just hanging around. Or no, he did 1 wound, and I charged. That's what it was. Because I remember we drew combat. So, yeah, we're just hanging around. At least he can't shoot. That's the plus side. Over here, I killed a bunch of dwarves, and yeah, he's not going anywhere. So, that's great. Yep. Greyback did nothing again, and he killed off a whole bunch of ghouls. This is not looking great. And on the right side, I did not do almost everything that was done by the Winged Reaper. Almost nothing. The race didn't do much. Skeletons, the bats certainly didn't do very much. The one advantage these skeletons have is they have a banner, and they have a banner of +1 as well, so they're getting +2 just by being there. That's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons they're there. That to keep them from just teeing off on the bats, who are really just saving my bacon in this thing. I mean, that -1 to hit is just, it is so good. Yet another bar. This is the auction house out in the CBD. If you ever come down to New Orleans, it is a fantastic bar. Very cool. So over here, he's trying to get the move count of this combat. This is actually a really long charge, which he doesn't make. I think he needed like an 11 or something like that, or a 12. It was really far, but I mean, why not? Over here, this is just the left side of the table to show you what everything looks like. Just little combats all over the place. I think everything he's got, or most of what he's got in combat, yeah. There's the coach just waiting for its opportunity to get in. And the Varkalak is trying to chaff up that unit a little bit. So over here, he does the cascading fire in combat. Murders a few ghouls, which is, yeah, that's not the end of the world. And he gets Flaming Sword off on this unit, which is not good. Not good at all. Yeah, I hate that spell. That spell is too good. Too good. Over here, he just shoots the Varkalak to death. He does 5 wounds to him, and I failed every last one of the Fortitude saves. So, yep, that was great. I did not do very well on my saves. So Varkalak didn't even get to get into combat here, which is quite unfortunate. Yep, the Greyback did no wounds yet again, and the Incarnates just took him down, just murdered the rest of the unit, no problem. And they're turning to face that other combat, which is not good. I need to get out of the combat fast, and I cannot get out. Over here, I do a bunch more. I mean, I'm taking away like a rank a turn. I'm winning combat pretty consistently. And, yeah, this time he actually did a bunch more wounds. The combat was very close, but I just can't get out of this thing. Over here, he's doing more damage. He's not doing a ton. I think I'm actually consistently winning this or drawing this combat. So I'm not going anywhere. I'm just not doing enough to get rid of him. And you can see my troops are running low fast. He hasn't done any wounds to the Winged Reaper. The Winged Reaper is just sitting on 2 wounds. He's hoping to pop him through combat res at some point because I keep losing race every turn. I didn't realize these guys only had 1 wound apiece. They're pretty fragile. Over here, I did a wound. And that was it. I can't. I murdered the first machine. I can't murder this machine. It just refuses to go away. All right, so it's my turn, and you can see I don't have much to do. I just have this black coach, and I'm trying to make sure that the black coach stays away from the cow. I want to get this black coach into combat, but there's no space for me to get into. And I don't know what I want to die for him to get into combat, to be honest. Hopefully, I guess it's going to be the skeletons at some point. Here's the left side of the table. You can see the incarnates just bearing down on me right there. It's magic. Go on, magic, save me. So this is +1 strength, +1 toughness on these skeletons, and I was like, this is going to be great. He failed to dispel it, so I'm looking pretty on dice. I'm hoping to get off Savage Fury on them too, so I can frenzy this unit. And I'll tell you, strength 4 skeletons frenzied is great. That's an extra 5 attacks at strength 4. I'm looking forward to this. I cast some zombies too. I did not get off Savage Fury though. He managed to stop it just barely though. So I've got the zombies. I'm hoping I can rear charge them and the next turn, and that might help out. So over here, bats they did 1 wound. He did 1 wound back to me. I can't get out of this stupid fight. I just all I want is to kill off this stupid war machine. It just won't die. So over here, I murdered these dwarves this time. You can see there's a whole bunch. There's many fewer of them, and he's only got 3 left, and one of them is the stupid prophet who I can't get rid of. And yeah, I was really just hoping to break him from combat res rather than direct attacks to him. So this next turn, I'm going to direct some attacks and try to get rid of him. But he just refuses to go away. That BSB nearby is giving him those rerolls, so he's not losing by too bad. Usually like 3 or 4. So he needs his like 6 rerollables pretty consistently, and he keeps getting them. Over here, yeah, disaster strikes. I thought I was going to do a little bit better because of the +1 strength, +1 toughness, and I didn't. I did a little bit of damage, but he just went to town. He killed off, I think, all the skeletons and like another wraith or something like that, and everything else just popped. I mean, the Winged Reaper, I don't think did too much damage. I think he saved. I think he did 3 wounds, but he saved 2 of them this time. So yeah, it's just that one bat. He slides over, so that bat's going to die next turn. Ah, Harris. That's pretty. Anyway, yep, that's going to happen. But hopefully it's going to be a little tougher for him against those ghasts, though. The T5 ghasts, that's going to be a bigger threat. Get some combat. And this is what this left side of the table looks like overall. And the right side, you can see the cow moving in for the kill, threatening the black coach. But, you know, black coach can do what black coach can do. It's magic. Stupid flank swords. Why won't the spell go away? So he gets off. And over here, he just shoots the zombies to death. He knocked out all of them. It was good round of shooting. Mortar misfires again. He's shooting at the coach. He can just barely see it, but he has no luck with his Titan mortar. He got that one. He hit the skeletons once, and nothing after that. Over here, I kill off the rest of the dwarves. I don't do any damage to the incarnates. I think I lose by a little bit, but not too much. So he's starting to grind me down a little bit. But oh, thank God! I finally kill off that stupid war machine. My bats are now free, and I have a super plan. Super duper plan. Alright, yeah, and the bats form, yeah. We all knew that was going to happen. Over here, I'm sending that black coach in the front. I'm sending those 2 bats in on the rear. See, there they're going to go. And so I'll get a rear charge. I'll have that front charge. I'm hoping that the black coach can just do enough damage to just weaken this unit so much that those bats don't die. So I'll get the rear bonus. And over here, I'm going to get... He's getting a rear bonus from charging the gas. I'm going to get a rear bonus for charging this stupid dwarf. And I'm going to make sure that he's not going to do any damage to this bat. So this is what combat looks like. This is what everything looks like in the left flank. I mean, what's left of it. I mean, you see my army is just grounded. Just grinded. Ground? It's not much left now. And I have managed to get rid of none of his infantry blocks at this point. That's what it looks like on the right side. All right, so yep, amnesia. It was a very, very useful spell, though. But I don't have it anymore. And what it was +1 strength, +1 toughness on the ghasts. His incarnates did virtually nothing to the gas this time, and the gas just turned around and just went, go away, and just knocked them away. They just destroyed them. In this round, Vash actually challenged the Prophet to make sure the Prophet couldn't put his attacks against the Bat, and I won combat by quite a bit. He managed to stay, though, unfortunately. But I think there was like one incarnate with one wound left or something like that, and it just disappeared. Over here, I did a whole bunch of damage to these dwarves. I mean, you can see it. It's a lot of damage. But he hangs around. So, yeah, it was the end of turn 5. And we actually decided to call it at that point, because it was pretty late. We hadn't seen each other for a while, so we were really just slow playing the whole time. And we spent more time just talking and stuff. And at this point, it was, past midnight, and he needed to get back on the road and head back to Baton Rouge. So you can see what's left on the table for me, which is not a ton, and he's still got pretty much everything on the table outside of the Incarnates and the Taruks and some guns. And really, what we looked at this right here. What was going to happen is that Cal's going to hit the coach. That's going to hit the Bats in his turn, and it was not going to look pretty. And yeah, and I still hadn't gotten rid of that damn Prophet. Hopefully, I would have gotten. I think it only had like one wound left or something like that, so it was going to die pretty soon. But he was going to pick up some big points here, and then I was going to have to face. I mean, I would have had one turn if I killed off the Prophet here to get some points back, but I don't know. I don't think it would have been enough. But that's what we both saw on the table, so no big deal. It is how it is. All right, so who gets the Broken Coffee Machine Award? Yep, the Greyback. And why did he get that award, you ask? He did 0 wounds against the stupid Incarnates. And I mean, it's not like he's got 4 attacks, he's got Hatred, Strength 5, but he did nothing. He just whiffed the entire time. And as a result, that whole unit of ghouls just disappeared when I feel like he really could have anchored it, maybe killed off one each round, and eventually taken him to task, So I got one more slide for you. Oops, get this thing. There we go. So we went out with Stickyfingers and Eagyn the other night, and he watched these videos all the time, and he saw that I was calling him Welshie on the channel because he welched out of our bet, and so when we got to the auction house, I said, all right, we're going to get you your buttery nipple, and you can fulfill your obligations. And unfortunately, they did not have buttery nipples here, so what he got was a Screaming Orgasm. And he drank it. He insisted that I have to report it here on the channel. That way he isn't shamed quite so much, because we've been shaming him. Mrs. Stickyfingers had been shaming him for the past couple of weeks. So he wanted it to be known that he fulfilled his betting obligations. So, Welshie, Stickyfingers, you fulfilled your obligations. Congratulations, buddy. All right, I hope you enjoyed this battle report. I will see you guys later.